Now in Intro to Programming, I want to talk about the scope of variables and how it works with functions. Remember, the scope of variables is where you can use the variables. Basically, a variable can only be used within the function that it was declared in, even if another function is called by that. So in this case, in the main function, we declared a variable called num. And we sent that value over to change value. This is a program that we used in a previous video. And it got a new variable called number. It's really a copy of num, but it's not the same variable. What would happen here, let's try it, if I try to use num? So remember, the main function started, we entered the function called change value, and I could say num is 7. Give it a new value. Try something simple. Unsuccessful build. Look at this right here. Num was not declared in this scope. Hey, they even used my word. Num was not declared in the scope, meaning I can't use this variable here. I can only use that within the main function. Similarly, this variable called number that was declared up here cannot be used in the main function, even after the change value function the change value function was run. I can try this. Number is 7. We'll stick with 7. Build it. Unsuccessful build. Number was not declared in the scope. So they're only usable within that function. And actually, every time change value gets run, if we run it a few times here, a new copy will be made called number. You won't have access to the old one. It will be a brand new variable. We'll add 5 to that number, then print it out. That's mostly what I want to say about scope, but there's one more thing. There's a way to avoid this. I don't like to do this often, but sometimes it can come in handy. Oh, let's create another variable. I'll just call it A. Now I'm going to access A within here, and I'm even going to access it within here. Build it. This was successful. We can declare variables outside of the main function that will be available to all the functions underneath it, which can come in handy sometimes, but I don't like to do it too much because it is easy to somewhat lose control over what value the variable has, but more so even to lose portability. By portability, I mean, well, if I wanted to take this function I wrote and stick it in another program, it's dependent on this extra A value. Is dependent on something outside the function. It wouldn't work that well without porting something else over as well. I'd like to keep it sort of a self-contained little package I can use and put into any program I want. So this can be done, but use it sparingly.